What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody don't want to work anymore, right? A lot of people don't want to work anymore. And why nobody want to work anymore? A lot of times some people looking at working a job or working right now as slavery. They come in to work, putting a lot of hours and not getting exactly what they feel they should be getting out of the work. So you probably even wake up early, going into your job, putting in the hours dedicated to the job, but you're not really getting paid what you think you should, or the benefits of working a job is not panning out the way you think it should be panning out. So what's some other reasons why people are not going to work, right? So sometimes even if you don't have a job and people's not going to work, is because of the application process, right? So some people are fed up with the application process. It takes too long, or maybe they don't understand how the application process works. And some people out there probably haven't filled out applications in years because they probably was working for a certain company for a certain amount of times, putting in their hours. They probably was at the company for years thinking that they have, their retirement, that they all secured. They will have their benefits, maybe even pensions. Wait, did I say pensions? Are companies even offering pensions anymore? That's another reason why a lot of people are not working, because of the benefits. There's no really big benefits in companies like how it was, like, say, back in the, the 60s, 70s, or even, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, where manufacturing jobs and factory jobs was like the big thing. That was the main thing, productivity, producing products, making things, and manufacturing things. But that's not the case no more, because we're more involved with like a service-based industry or a tech-based industry. So if you're not really involved in those industries, then sometimes a lot of jobs is not giving the best benefits that a person is looking for working a job. So other than the application process, you got the benefits. People are not really looking at the benefits as a great advantage of having a job. So sometimes people don't want to work. And the interview process. Sometimes people don't want to go through the interview process. Nobody want to work at a job where the interview process is like trying to find out the whole details of your life or the background of your life. I mean, some jobs you have to do that, but sometimes some people aren't open to giving out that type of information or indulging in that type of information with a stranger. So the information that they're giving, they probably be reluctant to giving out the information because, sometimes people are like that. They don't want to open up to strangers and let people know. So the interview process might catch them off guard, where they're not really working like that. And like I said even earlier, people are not working because they're not really getting or seeing the benefits out of a job that we'll see in the past. Like, our grandparents and parents, their type of job was, you have pension, you have everything like that, your health care, savings account, matching, or, just the benefits of working a job. You have bonuses, PTO, paid time off. And that's another one too, paid time off. A lot of people don't want to work a job or not working a job because they're looking for the benefits in terms of PTO. How many times are they able to take time off and get paid for it? Vacation time, paid time off, sick times, how that comes into play with working a job. And is it worth it for them, right? So what's some other ways that we can think about that nobody really wants to work a job anymore? Why nobody really wants to work a job anymore is because a lot of companies nowadays are valuing culture over productivity, over making things work, over payment, over healthcare, over pensions. And a lot of companies are gearing towards the culture of the company. How is the morale of the company? Is the culture of the company a lively one, more of an exciting one? More of an exciting one that, everybody is lively and ready to go to work and come into work. With some companies, that's not the case for everybody. You have some people who are extrovert and you have some people who are introvert. So we have to be able to balance in between the two and being able to identify, okay, is this company going to be a culture company, or is it going to be a company of productivity and taking care of people and offering benefits and good pay? So that's another reason sometimes why people are not working. Nobody want to work because they're not excited about the culture of the job, or maybe they're not excited the direction of the culture of the job is going, or the culture of the company is going. So they're reluctant to go into work, or they don't really feel up to it, or their emotions get involved with the job, and they really don't want to go into work knowing that they have to go into work and being able to have a job to pay their bills. Other things that we can think about why people really don't want to work, or nobody wants to work anymore, why nobody wants to work anymore, is because some part of it could be because of laziness. Yeah, laziness. Sometimes, especially over the past few years, we see the quitting culture starts to go up, and we, like during the pandemic, it was like, quitting your job and finding another way. And entrepreneur life is a good thing to go after, to venture out, especially with your dreams, but you can't just straight up bank on the entrepreneur life taking care of your bills and taking care of what you got to take care of. So sometimes people are lazy because of what they saw out in the world. They saw other people living a good life on social media by being entrepreneurs or working from home, or quitting their job and finding something else to do, like starting up a business, which is not a bad thing. And I'm not telling people to go ahead and quit your job, because it's tough out here. It's going to get real miserable and serious if you don't have that established amount of money or the financial freedom ready in order to quit your job. You don't have that emergency account, 3 to 4 months emergency account to quit your job, where you'll be able to have some kind of stability, so you don't have to worry about, your bills, your mortgage, your rent, car payment, car insurance, whatever you might have, right? So laziness could be a reason why nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody wants to work anymore because people are getting lazy. They're getting lazy with going to work. They're getting lazy with doing their job duties. They're getting lazy with waking up to go to work. And like, if the morale not there, or if the focus, or if the motivation is not there to continue to go into the job or motivate yourself to wake up, then you're gonna get lazy. Like cold mornings, when you really don't feel like getting out of bed, the bed feels good, feel nice and warm, but your alarm clock is going off and it's a cold morning. Sometimes people feel lazy. Laziness could be another big factor into why nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work nowadays because people are getting lazy and lazier. It's not like back in the days where everybody's up at the same time. You probably catching the bus together, or carpooling together, or leaving the area together and driving out together. Nowadays, people is getting lazier and lazier, and it's due to technology. It's due to a lot of convenience that's going on in the world. And I don't know, why are people getting lazier and lazier? So that's one reason why I think nobody wants to work anymore also, because sometimes you're getting overworked. You feel like you're working like a slave. You're not getting enough benefits. And laziness is starting to take over in some people. And it could be emotional, could be a mental health thing, could be a wellness thing, could be a mindset thing. But people are not focused and they're being more lazy in order to, lazy to go to work. Like, they're not sacrificing, they're not taking accountability of what you must do in order to continue to work a job. And laziness can get you fired, because then you don't want to go to work. That's going to start to affect your attendance. You're not showing up for work, you're calling out, or you're saying that you're sick and you're playing a sick game. And then it all starts to catch up to you, where you might end up losing your job, or being suspended for your job, or terminated from your job, or maybe the company not even having a good productivity because people are not showing up to work. So then they have to lay off people because the productivity is not there. So it's a lot of reasons why nobody wants to work nowadays. But the crazy thing is, the unemployment numbers is low. But then again, you got to think, if people aren't looking for jobs and actively looking for jobs, they're not involved in the unemployment pool. So if you're unemployed and not actively looking for a job, a lot of times you're not involved in the unemployment pool. You're just you're just out there. So those are some reasons why nobody wants to work anymore. Companies are also working people hard. So we do have some companies out there that's working people hard. And the reason for that people are getting worked hard, because you do have a group, a bunch of people, or a certain amount of people who do not feel like going into work, or they don't want to work, and they have the laziness bugging them, so they don't want to go to work, which put more work on other people to get the job done, to be more productive for the company and get things done, get tasks completed. But you can't get it completed if people's not showing up to work. So with the lack of people showing up to work because of laziness, then a lot of people start to get overworked because they have to pick up the slack of people not showing up to work. And then that now could be a morale issue, where the morale of the company or the morale of going to work tends to dwindle down to other people now. So now other people is picking up the laziness bug, or just don't feel like working because they feel like they're being overworked. And it's not because of the company, but it's because of the lack of employees. And that's where AI is also coming into stance. AI is another reason why AI is so rampant right now, is because of the laziness culture, people not showing up to work. The pandemic kind of had parts of it. The quitting culture also, where people were quitting their job and, seeking entrepreneurship or seeking different ways. And there's nothing wrong with that, get involved with gig economy and entrepreneurship. Make sure you have it situated and stable, right, where you can provide for yourself and your family and have things stable, where you don't have to be miserable, right? So the quitting culture is also part of why nobody wants to work anymore. And also, the rampant of quitting culture. You have the outsourcing, so companies are not paying people how much they should pay them because you have a lot of things that's being outsourced. Then you have a lot of people who are good at what they do, so their skills are up there and they become consultant. Instead of going into their job, they set up their own business or 1099, and instead of going and punching in the clock, they have people hire them for their consultation. And that's also part of the service business and tech business. So once again, hope you got some value out of this. Just a rundown of why nobody wants to work anymore, and what's the reason for it. And I say some of the reason was because the application process, the interview process, lack of benefits, lack of PTO. A lot of companies don't give pensions anymore. Some companies are valuing culture over productivity. People are just getting lazy, so there's a laziness culture that's prevailing. People just don't want to work, and maybe because of the pay, or they just don't want to work. They don't want a job. They just want a little bit of money just to get by, right? Shout out to Meek Mill for that line right there. And companies are overworking people, and also, the quitting culture had a lot of people thinking, oh, I don't need a job, I can do it just like this person do it, not noticing that person did a lot of sacrifice and accountability in order to get to where they're at in that realm. So they get laziness and, seeking other ways. But also the quitting culture and entrepreneurship lifestyle, which is not a bad thing, but if you're able to do it, go ahead and do it. But don't quit your job if you're not stabilized and stable well enough for like 3 to 4 months emergency fund, and your plan stabilized and structured, ready to execute. So once again, it's AnsleyD. Hope you got some value out of this. Just a real quick video about why nobody wants to work anymore, and why the quitting culture is prevailing and people don't want to work anymore. Just a few different reasons. So once again, it's Ansley Dawkins. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.